we'll do this.
We laugh.
All right, cool. All right. Hey everybody, welcome to uh, Crohn's Veteran live stream. We're joined today by Taj and Autumn. We're going to be doing a podcast here with them in a second here. And so, all right. So, all right. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. I think for everybody. So, but get
Yeah.
into it. So, all right. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and record.
Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Jordan with the Crohn's Veteran Podcast. Thank you for joining us today. I'm also joined with my amazing co-host Renika and CJ. How you guys doing today?
This is a Monday, but I'm doing awesome.
Cool. Awesome. Well, we are very honored, very grateful to have two amazing guests with us. Kind of a long time coming here. So Taj and Autumn are joining us today. We're very grateful to have you guys. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you for having us. We're doing good, man. Thanks.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, we'll get right into it. I'm very curious here. Taj, especially. What's your background with IBD?
Well, I think I've always had issues, like even in my childhood, but I wasn't diagnosed with Crohn's until I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was having flare-ups before, but my family was sort of in healthcare. My dad was also an X-ray tech. And so when I would have flare-ups, he would change my diet to like soft foods, oatmeal, and mashed potatoes, to kind of give my digestive system a rest.
Right.
And it could be like for weeks at a time. So we didn't really go to see a GI doctor or anything like that until I was a lot older. And then I actually had to go for the pain and stuff like that. So that's the only time that that's the first time that I'd heard any kind of GI thing. Like I just thought what I was going through was normal. You think you get an upset stomach, and you think that you need to give your system a rest. So you think you need to switch your foods and stuff like that. But
Right.
and I think early on we went a couple times before I actually got diagnosed with Crohn's. We would go to just a regular doctor's office, and they would be like, "Well, there's nothing wrong with you."
Mm-hmm.
The labs would come back normal. You're sitting there, you have pains, but it's not constant pain. So to have somebody tell you you're perfectly fine, I mean, yeah, it's nice that you're fine, but it's kind of frustrating, you know?
Right. Definitely. I know well.
That's the familiar story, right?
Mhm.
Exactly. So it wasn't until I was already in college, I was 21, when I had a flare so bad that I had to go to the ER, that I saw an actual GI doctor, and they were able to have a name for it and tell me, well, this is what you have. You have Crohn's, and these are your options. You can go on. They gave me an option of having surgery, and I was so young that I was like, I don't want to have surgery. So I got a central line that they fed me through for about a week and a half, but that ended up not working, and I had to go back to the hospital. And then by that time, I was like, okay, I'm here for the surgery. That's been, years and years ago. So now it's just my normal to be, to always have some kind of digestive issues. It's kind of like my norm now.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for sharing that. And so
Definitely.
yeah, like, well, I usually I find myself talking too much here, so I'm gonna let
No, it's okay.
CJ Renika go here.
Yeah. So, we've spoken a little bit on social media, and I guess my question is, like, you having a person, your family that's in the medical um, field background, so you had some kind of sort of like, a helping aid. With me, I didn't have any of that. And, going back to the doctors and not knowing what's going on, but just knowing that, something is going on. And I always tell people, don't let nobody tell you how you feel. And that was one of my biggest concern, you know. What were some of the challenges that you experienced like through the course of not knowing outside of the pain? Like what are some things that you actually experienced through that process of being in college? Like what were some of the challenges you experienced?
I mean, I think it was not challenging, but I do remember a point where I had got sick right before I went home for the holiday break. And we did the same thing. We switched my diet to just oatmeal and oatmeal and mashed potatoes for like 4 weeks. I think I lost 30 pounds. I came back to school and everybody was like, oh, you look so good. But you don't realize that, you know, this isn't intentional. This is, and I didn't even realize it. I realized that my clothes fit a little bit differently, but at home we were so focused on my health that I guess it's trying to teach people who are younger and who don't know what any kind of GI disease really is, that hey, I'm not okay. I didn't do this on purpose. I'm sick, but I'm not sick, you know, because I think people so often are like, if you're sick, you're in the hospital, or you're sick and then you just get well. They're not used to dealing with people who have autoimmune. One day you feel good, one day you feel bad, but you're always sick, you know? So I think that was the biggest challenge, was trying to get support outside of my family. I had friends and, you know, I sorors, line sisters, whatever, who tried to understand as much as they could, but nobody really understands as much as you do, you know?
Right.
I agree with that 100%. I wish I had the support. I didn't have anything. I feel like a little longer going through the midst of all this behind the scenes depression and anxiety that I was masking with all this going out and having fun with people and not knowing the whole time my body was actually shutting down, and I was actually I don't want to say the word killing, but I actually was really killing myself because I wasn't even taking my health into consideration, because I did not want to be identified as, oh my God, the girl Renika, she's sick, because people saw me like I look well, but internally I was not well at all. So I do.
So how long did you go?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I'm sorry. So how long did you go before you were properly diagnosed?
I was misdiagnosed in 2011 with ulcerative colitis. Talking to Jordan and CJ, I told them that I do remember growing up, I've always had gastrointestinal challenges. My stomach was always hurt. I would have like chronic constipation. I would go like almost like, I remember I went like 14 days not going to the bathroom one time. And I felt like it's just something that happened. They give me milk of magnesia, citric magnesium, give me Epsom salt, warm milk. I'm like, back then the milk worked, but not knowing my body couldn't, because my stomach hurts by the milk work, you know, because I couldn't really drink the milk. But it took me about 5 years to get a Crohn's diagnosis. Prior to that, I would say about, honestly, I want to say about a couple of years before I had my real first initial flare. But when I got diagnosed in 2011, I thought I had a stomach bug, but that's when I found out I had some type of IBD when I went in, because I thought I had like a stomach bug, but it turns out that I was like anemic, passing blood through my bowels microscopically according to the doctors, and that's when I found out that I had some type of irritable bowel disease. So I didn't know what it was. Wow. So I was kind of like, I'm still gonna have fun. I don't want to do.
Right, and you know, for me, you know, it was really, really, really fast. Like, you know, my mom says, you know, well, when I was little, like, you know, that I had stomach problems or something, but I just don't remember that at all. And but for me, it was I was 14, ninth grade. I went, we got some fast food. I was spending the night at a friend's house, and I got like a really, really bad stomach ache, horrible. Words can't even describe how terrible that was. And woke up, still had it. Went home. My parents, kind of saw what kind of condition I was in, took me to the hospital, and they started pushing around my stomach, and they, found out that, okay, this is serious. And then they just told me to pretty much strip down to where I was standing, and put on a gown, and then go into the operating room or whatever. And then they just and then they did like exploratory surgery just to find out what was wrong. And then they pulled out my appendix, and they pulled out 6 inches of my colon, and said I had Crohn's disease, and just like that. So and so
wow, that's a lot to deal with as a adolescent.
Right.
You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right, bye-bye. Mhm. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think when you're younger, even when you're adolescent or either when you're in your early 20s, like mentally you don't know. Like even though they tell you you're sick, you have no idea how sick you really are. And you have no idea. I remember anecdotally, I remember when I went to have my surgery, in my mind, I thought I was gonna die because I didn't really
Mhm.
talk to anybody. You know, I wasn't telling my family that. But in my mind, I was like, okay, this is it. I'm having surgery. It's over with. I'm done. So
Mm.
I was surprised when I woke up. So
Oh,
I
wow.
can imagine what you were saying, Jordan, at like 14 years old, for them to
Yeah.
go, "Hey, you're having surgery. Let's." I can't,
And Tosh, I'm telling you, like, it was literally like, I remember they they put the mask on my face, and they had all the monitors and all that kind of stuff, and I was like pointing to them, and they told me to count back from like 10, and it was just like, and I woke up in another room. It was just like that. It was the most
Yeah,
surreal. It was the most surreal thing ever. But Autumn, I'm curious. So so being so being in Taj's life, or having a perspective on Taj's life, as and I'm curious, what's it been like, being close to somebody, that has IBD.
Um, it's a lot different than obviously because we dated other people before we met each other. So having to understand from a different perspective of the frequency, the pains. Like sometimes she wakes up and because of all the medications and just what it's done to her body, like she can't move. Like I have to physically help her at times. Get out of bed, just move her legs over because the pain in the joints and in the bones and stuff is just so extreme for her. And sometimes I do joke with her when we go out, and I'm like, "Come on, old man, let's go." She does get out of the car and walk like an 80-year-old man, and I'm like, 10 more years, I'm going to be pushing you in this wheelchair, but it's okay. I'm still going to push you in it, so it's all right. So it might look to some people like she's trying to be cool when she gets out the car, but definitely not the case. So it is a lot different because when we first met,
I think I tried to hide it.
she did try to hide it because she'd come to my apartment and then she'd be like, okay, I gotta leave. I'm like, you just got here. And I think we probably dated for like 2 or 3 months before she ever actually stayed long enough. When she had to like, I guess, use the restroom or whatever, go to the bathroom. And that part right there blew me away a little bit. Because I was like, are you okay? Like she was in there for a long time.
You're in there for like 15, 20 minutes. And then
You're
you
an hour.
avoid.
Right.
It is.
Right.
And so I was like, when she first did, I was like, are you okay in there? Like, do you need anything? I could see why, or like when we're out and she's like, I need to find a restroom. I know like it's not negotiable, we need to find a restroom.
Yeah.
And it's weird for her too, because for me it's the opposite. Like I have to go to the bathroom, but I'll hold it for like 2 or 3 hours. So we're good.
Who does that?
So we have total opposites, right?
Like I had to go to the bathroom today, but I waited till I got home from work.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
or I'll
like,
say stuff like, "Oh, I had to go, but I held it so long, it went away." And she'll be like, "What?"
No.
Where do that at?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So
Privilege.
it is different in where like when she has her flares, like I feel so bad for her because not having that, you wouldn't think the pain is that bad. But it is that bad because sometimes I have to ask her, like, do we need to go to the ER? Because I don't want her to sit there and suffer and be in pain. And I'd rather take her. But yeah, sometimes I wake up and she doesn't even wake me up. Like I hear her because the pain is that bad. Like I wake up. So it is a lot different dating somebody with IBD or Crohn's. I think you have to be a different type of person to date somebody with that because you have to be understanding in all aspects. And you also have to understand that when that individual says, hey, we gotta go. Like it's not any, just give me 5 more minutes or just let me go to this store. It's
no, now,
go, right? Now. When they give you certain cues to let you know that it's time to go, and you have to be like, okay, let's go, no problem. We can go. Or like if we're at like my parents' house or someone else's house, and if she's not comfortable doing that there, then I know, okay, we cut our time short. It's time to go. Let's go. So I do think you have to be a different type of person to date somebody who has any type of intestinal or GI issues, because there is a level of understanding there that I don't think everybody gets, or everybody thinks it's just, oh, you just gotta go to the bathroom, don't worry about it. It's really not. It's really not like that, because I do see how it affects her, not just the frequency, but also the pains and the joints and the oh man, and so.
I can.
Wow.
It's funny you said that the old man thing is real quick. Like I remember like when I was, I guess, sick in my second surgery in 2009. Like that whole year, like probably like 6 months, like I was like bent over like an old man. So like I can directly relate to that. And so the struggle is real type thing. People don't even know. So so I'm curious. I mean, I'm curious too. So about Taj CBD, and so natural wellness, and so see our.
He's better. We don't even have our stuff. We don't
amazing
even have any
conference
product,
today,
right?
showing the world that. So you tell exactly so like how it came about, how it started, and what and what do you hope to accomplish with it?
Yeah, you can start.
So it started because
Exactly.
Yeah. So it started because I was previously employed at a different clinic, and it was very stressful, extremely stressful to the point where I would come home and she would say, you just need to quit. Like, I can't deal with this with you. So eventually I went on like a leave, and then my checks ran out, or my time ran out, and I was still on leave, looking for a new job. So it came about because of the stress in the household. Not money stress, but more I was stressed out because I couldn't find a new job. And then she started stressing out because I was stressing out. So it happened because of basically stress and anxiety. And she had said that she heard CBD is helpful for that. And so we went to a local CBD shop here.
Like a vape shop.
Like a vape shop,
Yeah.
right here where we live. And then she was like, well, let's try this and see how this works. So originally we started out with the
vapes.
The vapes,
Yeah.
right. Originally we started out with vaping it. And then
how was that for you guys? I mean, like how did that work out initially for you?
I mean, for me, I really liked it. Like, I was surprised. A lady that I work with, she was recommending it. She was like, try CBD vape, try, and I'm sure the same thing with you all. With me, when I'm worried about something or anxious or nervous or whatever, my insides can tell. And
Definitely.
I was like, I gotta try something. I've got to try something else.
Yeah, just to kind of bring it.
Just to have something, like if I'm mentally calm, then I'm physically calm. If I'm mentally everywhere, then I'm in the bathroom half of the day, and then when my day is shot. So I tried the CBD vape and I really liked it. It really gave me not a head high, but a body high. Mm-hmm. And I was able to relax and calm down and feel more like myself. And I really liked it. And, she's always been real great about, if I want to try something, she'll try it with me. So she tried it and she liked it too. But it was around the time when there was a lot of, and a lot of people saying, like, you don't know what's in it. People are dying. And I didn't. And honestly, working in healthcare, I didn't know what was in it. I couldn't guarantee what was in it. I bought it from, a random smoke shop. So I started looking into and researching just CBD, reading up on terpenes, cannabis, your endocannabinoid system, like the fact that you have a system in your body that's already set up with receptors. And this is all mammals. This is us and animals and everything. So the more I learned about it, the more I was like, hey, I think I can do this. I can't make a vape. Like, I don't have all that at my fingertips, but I think I can make something for me to take, for me and my family to take, to lower my anxiety, to make it more cost efficient for me to do too. So the more, bless you, baby. The more I researched it, the more I would find out it helps with this or it helps with that, and not just the CBD, but the terpenes, which gives it's in every flower and plant, and it has to do with the aroma and the scent, the smell, the flavor, whatever, and they all have some kind of benefit. So the more I learned about it, the more I was able to go, okay, well, if this is good for inflammation, I'm going to add this to it. Well, if this is good for my asthma, I'm going to add this to it. So honestly, like the mellow on the website, if you see the mellow and the focus is literally, I made the mellow for me. I made the focus for her because it went with what she needed and mine went with what I needed. And the more I would learn about it, the more I was like, I give it to my dogs because so I decided, the same lady at work who recommended it to me, I was like, you know what? I'm starting to make this stuff. You want to try it? And she was like, yeah, I want to try it. So that it kind of builds on. It's sort of like, if you just have that momentum and you move sometimes, things just open up just because you're moving. So that's literally how we got here. And I tell people all the time, I'm not a salesperson or anything like that. I'm going to make this for the rest of my life, for me. As long as the government will let me make it, I'm going to make it for me.
Right.
And if I can share it with other people and it helps with them, fantastic. If not, if they want to try something different, that's fine with them too. But I think we're so into going to the doctor and giving you a pill for something and writing you off and saying, here, take this, and not even looking into your diet or your exercise or anything else or anything like holistically. And she works in integrative medicine that works with a lot of different things at the same time. It sees you as a whole and not just like one thing. It was easy to get started. Once I got started, stuff just started rolling, and that's that's what we're doing. We're just rolling with it, man.
I will say our
Cool.
final product, say we'll just spit a number, it's probably number 200. I tested 1 through 200. So I
Yep.
was the official guinea pig in all these in all these trial and errors. So what you have now, I was the one that helped get us there, and you know, it's been up and down, but we finally got where we are right now.
Yeah, the people don't know. I mean, you know, it takes time and effort, you know, and dedication to make these things happen. So
It does, and she wasn't harmed. She slept one day. She slept for 16 hours.
We
and I
did,
was
yeah. Her first original
working that
rest.
out.
Her first original rest. She's like, "Here, try this," and I'm always like, "Okay, fine." She's like, "I made this." I'm like, "All right, fine," because if nobody, you know, it's just, you know, nobody's gonna try it if I don't try it for her. So I will say, one day she made me try. I think it was the first rest she made.
Maybe
It was the first rest she made.
it didn't taste good.
It didn't taste bad, but again, it didn't always taste as good as it tastes
It
now.
was straight terpene.
Right. And so I tried it, and then she went to work, and then I was trying to get up, and I couldn't even get up. Like, I thought I would probably I don't know what I felt like, but I couldn't, I physically could, like I was trying to open my eyes and I couldn't.
And that let me know that was a little too much.
And then I went back to sleep, and then I got up again.
Just dial it back a little bit.
Dial it back. We had to dial it back, and I finally was able to get up, but it still felt like I needed to lay back down for another 8 hours. And I called her at work, and I was like, "Are you trying to kill me?" I was like, I can't even, like, I couldn't even move. It was that, yeah.
Very
I felt
rest.
better. I
Very
didn't
rest.
feel bad. I just physically, I couldn't. My body was like, "No, you're not going anywhere. We're gonna lay back down." So yeah.
Tried the Taj sent me over the bath salts.
Yes.
Oh my God. So I tried the bath salts. What was it? I think last week? Week before last. Anyway, it was recently.
Okay.
I'm having like candles in here. I'm stressed out. I'm like, you know what? I need to relax. I said, I'm gonna try some of Taj bath salts. So I go in there, and when I put the little salts in there, like the smell, I said, wait a minute. I didn't know they had like flowers in there. Oh my God, it smelled so good. They may be TMI, you know, not keep it real like they come real like that. I was in the tub for 2 hours because I kept putting, I promise you.
I was gonna say, did you get all raisin?
Right.
Best sleep. Like when I got out, I was like, okay, I got out, whatever. You know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch the TV. I promise you, I got into bed and I laid down, and I don't even remember going to sleep. Like my body, I was just I was so relaxed.
No, right?
Like the smell, the whole body, I was just so relaxed. I had a very good night rest at night. So I was like, damn, this is really some good stuff. I think I messaged you on my Instagram, whatever, like the message, whatever. But I was like, this is some good stuff. So
I gotta see you some more. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
I loved it. I loved it. We have another. No, I about to say, Victoria, love you too. So that's another thing. Though. Go ahead, CJ. Victoria, love you.
Actually, did we talk about that?
I think eventually.
Yeah,
obviously.
we have talked. We have discussed it.
Down the road, because I would after I'm retired or when I don't have to do anything else, I would love to have like a hemp farm, like go from the beginning of it all the way through. You know, I would love to do something like that. The thing that I like about our products is that the vendors that I deal with, even with the terpenes and stuff, I deal with a lot of people who have had illnesses in their family. It's not just like people who are trying to sell stuff. It's people who are trying to make CBD taste good for an ailing family member, like maybe at the end of life or something like that. So it's you can tell a difference when you deal with people who are trying to get your money versus people who have made something to make somebody else feel good. You know, right. So I think for with the flower and stuff, I would want to go from like I need to be hands-on on everything in order for me to sell it, as for me to be like, here, I need to know what's in it, and I need to, so I can tell you what's in it. And I also need to be hands-on from all the way from the beginning to the end. So I would sell flower, but I would honestly, for me, I want to know how you make your flour. I want to know what you use on it. Do you put pesticides on it? Do you know, is it healthy? Is it going to make somebody sick? Because at the end of the day, I just want for me, my family, for everybody else, just to live easier with just a little bit better off, because everybody goes through stuff. Even if we don't say it, everybody goes through stuff. But if you could be a little bit more calm, a little less anxious, or not have so much inflammation, or just like you said, sometimes you just want to sit for 2 hours. You know, that's you. That's what you want to do it. It makes your day. That's it. That's the tweak. That's it.
Tweak. I like it. It's a tweak.
Cool.
I never relax. Get
Right
y'all some.
on.
Get y'all some. A little plug in.
Well, that's awesome. Well, yeah. So do you guys have anything? Yeah. For 2021, any kind of goals or focuses for for the year? Would you say?
I think we just launched a new product. Is that up yet? The
What?
1500.
Yeah, we did the 1500
Yeah.
because we're trying to make it easier for people, mathematically easier to microdose, for people who like microdosing, taking small amounts for mathematically make it so that in one drop, because our droppers tell you exactly how much you're taking. Just like with any other medication, you need to know for you if it's working or not. So if you can document that I took a dropper and it made me feel X, Y, and Z, I try to make a different product where you can take more of it, where you can take the same amount but get more CBD and see if it's working for you. So we're doing, instead of just the 700, we're doing the 1500. Right now we have it in the cherry limeade, but we're going to have it in unflavored, because that's kind of, some people have hit me up for unflavored stuff. And also the green, the green apple, the green candy apple. Yeah. So, but no, I just kind of go with the flow. And honestly, I make stuff based on what we need and based on the feedback that I get from people. If I have somebody who is nauseous and they're having a baby, they don't like a lot of flavors. So they might be like, hey, I just want just the CBD and I want just the oil, and let's see if it works. And I go, okay, let's just see if it works. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does work, it does work. So I'm just sitting back.
Cool.
I'm excited for you.
All right.
I'm excited.
Well,
I think when I first saw you on Instagram, I was like, hold on, Jordan. I said, CJ, I got somebody I want you to meet. Now, mind you, I haven't met you myself yet. I know she's somebody you want to talk to. And that's how we started to connect. So I'm so happy to even talk about it. I've never used CBD before. I mean, like, I'm lying. TJ did turn me on to the store over there. I don't think I'm supposed to feel like this. I ain't feel like nothing. It was like $10 for like 2 gummy bears, whatever, over at a little I put a plug out there, but I was like, I don't feel right. So I was like, I'm gonna try it, because even though I'm in remission, I still have some other type of extraintestinal manifestations of Crohn's that I'm trying to do with the work through. So even though I don't have any of the gastro challenges I was once having significantly, I do still have challenges from my Crohn's. So I'm going to definitely want to consider investing in something to where my body can tolerate it and I'm not, uncomfortable.
Look at you considering. I'm proud of you, Renika. She come a long way, CJ. She come a long way, man. Like, nope, not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna mess with it. Nope.
One day at a time.
Baby steps. Baby steps. Yeah.
You funny, Joey.
Awesome. Well, I'm wishing, you touch on them individually and in your business, success, and also, thank you guys, very much, for coming here, please, if you could do me a big favor and let our listeners know, how they can find you, and how they can, how they can support you.
So we are on different social media platforms. We're on Instagram. The Instagram is Taj.
How you on Instagram?
Because I don't go on it all the time.
How you on Instagram? She don't like none of my pictures.
It's not true. I put the Spanish posts up there. That's good though, right? I post the Spanish ones.
I've been putting up with this since like 2000.
It doesn't matter.
Since about 2001. Okay.
So we're on Instagram if you wanna.
Taj CBD.
There you go. Taj
on
CBD.
everything.
On everything.
Facebook,
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
You want to finish?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, it's Taj CBD on everything, on Facebook, on Instagram, because I thought that would be the easiest way. So once you find us one way, it's always the same way. And the website is at tajcbdlife.com.
Cool.
And you can always email us through the website if you have questions, or like she said, people email her all the time. You know, if you can make it a certain way, since we are all in-house. And if, like I said, since we do post in Spanish, if there's Spanish people out there have questions, I would be answering those questions.
Un poquito.
I've taught her a little bit. So when she goes to work at the hospital, and whenever she does, they're like, oh, you speak Spanish. And she's like, wait a minute.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Break.
I have taught her a little bit of help her with her patients and stuff like that. So then when they hear a little bit, anybody who hears their own mother tongue is going to be like, oh yeah, you know this.
Right.
So she comes home and tells me stories like, he really kept going, and I was like, yeah.
Like Google Translate.
There you go.
Oh, awesome.
This is fun, guys. I like this. This is fun.
Well, yeah, it was definitely fun. I was looking forward to this interview, and it was really, really fun. So, thank you guys so much for being here. Just like super grateful. And if you can, find us at www.crohnsveteran.com. You can we're on Teespring. We might be changing vendors on that, and so we're we're still trying to play with bringing quality stuff. CJ is rocking one of our new Colitis veteran.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, right, just a little bit. Just a little. And so yeah. So if you want to support IBD, worldwide, check us out. On our Teespring store. We're also on our YouTube channel, Crohn's Veteran on there. We're on Anchor. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on Google. All these cool places. So please, if you like this episode, if you like this interview, like us, support us, subscribe. And so thanks guys for being here. Wishing Taj and Autumn all the good things. So all right, guys.
All right, thanks.
All right, thank you.